comedian. His name is Kemp Atkinson.
Gone on you with the pick and roll. Young and flame, he in sicko mode.
That little version of sicko mode. Was that serious? Wow. All right. That was not the version of sicko mode that I made. That was Billy fucking up. Let's see. Let's just get straight to it. I have a little presentation for you all today. It's going to be quite simple, actually. It's a presentation on why we're living in a simulation. Number one. Beep boop. Number two. Everything can be broken down into a series of yes or no questions, or zeros meaning no, or ones meaning yes. Let me show this to you. How could we possibly explain this transformation of Jonah Hill? 0, 1, done. So this is a story about a year and a half ago when I was on I saw a family. At the beach. And there was a mother, a father, and their son. And the mother and father were kind of bickering with each other, and the son was just like 10 feet ahead, pretending like his parents weren't getting an actual divorce behind him. The mom was screaming at her husband, "How dare you? How dare you say you want to play, you want to have more kids, when you can't even handle one? You say you want to play with our kid, and then you get sand in your eye and just start crying." Wow. I was taken aback. I didn't really know what to make of the situation. I couldn't really tell who was the asshole, who was the culprit. So I used a little computer science to break it down. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the 4 possible outcomes of who's the asshole in this situation. 0 means that they're not an asshole, and 1 means that they are. So, the first scenario is 0-0. Neither of them are assholes. They're just a completely dysfunctional couple. They had a kid too early. They should divorce. 0-1. He's the asshole and she's not. This would mean that this is just like an emotionally manipulative guy who likes to put on his wife how he wants to have more kids, but when it comes down to it, he can't even take care of one. The next one is 1-0. She's the asshole and he's not. This might be a biased opinion, but I thought this was the case because it seemed like the husband did want to play with his kid, and he just got a little too much sand in his eyes. I feel like it's a pretty reasonable reason to cry. You can't really get mad at someone for that. The last scenario, which might be the most likely, is just that they're both assholes. Number 3, fractals. Who here knows what fractal is? Wow. All right, you guys are going to watch me butcher this. A fractal, let's say, is just an image that we get by repeating an operation infinite times on a line, more or less. Is that right, Jake Daniels? Close. So, let's say that we start with this line segment here, and our operation is that we make an equilateral triangle in the middle of our line. After our first operation, we get this image. And then we have 4 line segments, so then we have 4 new triangles. And then on that one, I can't do math, there's a lot more line segments, a lot more triangles, henceforth. So let's look at another example. This one, it's not even a joke, this is a real fractal. If you have a line, and the operation is that you split each line into 2 lines. So we start with this, right? And then we split each of those into 2, we split each of those into 2, and eventually we get this. which is basically nature. Look at this. See how that angle is basically that angle, that angle? They're all the same angles. It's like twisted because it's 3D, but I'm serious. A tree is just a fractal. You can look it up. Number 4. All right, because the taxman says so. Who is the taxman? What does he want from us? And where does he come from? We don't know. But we do know 3 things about the taxman. The first is that he calls himself the taxman. The second is that if you ask him, he'll say that we live in a simulation. And the third is that he looks like this. If anybody knows who this man is, please talk to me after the show. Number 5. I used to eat my beans. This is pretty simple, actually. In high school, I was like a pretty sad person. And I would just like order medium, large pesto pizzas to my house, douse them in balsamic vinegar, and just eat them and play video games. It was sad. And then I would just feel worse about myself. Then I would just do it again. It was basically like fast food was my kryptonite. And if you don't know what kryptonite is when Superman jacks off and cries himself to sleep. That is a real image that I found online. I did not draw this. But I had to use it. Alright, so this one takes an assumption to begin with. It's called induction. We have to assume that one day, us as a civilization will be able to create a fully functional, simulated universe. It's not that far of a stretch. 40, 30 years ago, video games were like 8 pixels. It was like Pong. It was like, this is 2 lines and a dot. And now it's like this super intense thing that makes me waste hours of my time. And given like another 200 years, it's like a pretty reasonable thing to expect that we could like have a fully functional universe and just like watch it, right? So, let's say that this is the original universe. The one that all other universes come from. And when we say that we can assume it creates a universe, we see it create a universe. And so this is a simulated universe. And then eventually, because of our assumption that a civilization, given enough time, will be able to create its own simulated universe, we get another one. And then that one, given enough time, will make a third. But what happens when this one creates 40, that one creates 4,000, that one creates 40, and each of those create 4,000? That happens. And then that happens. So these are all the possible universes, and this is the only one that is not simulated. What are the odds that we are this one? It is literally 1 in infinity. The odds are literally 1 in infinity. I know what you guys are thinking. This is insane. This can't be true. How could a human possibly code all the complex interactions between humans, all the friendships, all the love, all the family, all the joy that we give each other, right? How could they do that? That's impossible. Is it? What about this? One simple argument. Think about it.